This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Looking for your best sleep ever? Sleep Number smart beds are literally made for you. They adapt to your changing needs. So whether you're dealing with sore muscles or running hot at night, your bed automatically adjusts for optimal comfort. Want softer, firmer, cooler, warmer? With personalized firmness settings and temperature control that cools up to 20 times faster than leading competitors, you'll get the perfect sleep environment every night. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event, up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
This is Reusse. You've been hearing my friend Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, for years on the Radio and Garage Logic podcast. I strongly recommend you sit down with Josh for your no-cost, no-obligation, 48-minute consultation on your investments, including your IRA and 401k. You can benefit from Josh's years of experience navigating different market and economic conditions, and he'll always give you straight talk and not sugar-coated advice. Give Josh a call now at 952-925-5608 to book your no-cost, no-obligation 48-minute consultation. That's 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did, and tell him Reusse sent you. Don't forget to ask, why is it 48 minutes, Josh?
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Reusse is a paid endorser.
Let's get the stats out of the way.
Let me get this one plugged in.
Do we need a headphone department?
It might not crack as much as this other one.
Hey, got a little problem there.
Look, an emergency.
Here, Pat, I got a brand new pair. Do you want these right here?
There's nothing wrong with these. He just doesn't know how to put them on.
These are fine. I just got to figure out how to get them on my head.
He's going to choke himself to death with his headphone.
Now, the wiring is
all fudged up.
No.
I'll go back to these. These are much simpler.
Let me just, while he's doing that, I just want to say something.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
In 1945,
yes,
Toronto went up. Give it to me. Look it up. You just had it.
Joe, the 1945 Stanley Cup Finals featured your Toronto Maple Leafs against the Detroit Red Wings.
And who won?
The Leafs won. They went up 3-0. The Wing came storming back to force a Game 7, and then the Leaf won Game 7.
3 years prior was the same two teams.
Okay.
And Detroit went up 3-0, and Toronto won it. So 1942 is the only time in any major sport that in the finals that a team's been down 3 and came back to win 4 straight, and it was over on April 18th. Now, that's kind of become a meaningless amusement. Of course, it was over April 18th. There was a 6-team league, and they probably played, a 50-game schedule?
Yeah.
And a train route between Montreal, Toronto, Detroit, Chicago, New York, and Boston.
Was that at a time, even though we had the Canadians, when Detroit and Toronto might have been your fiercest rival because of proximity?
Right.
And that was a battleground for loyalty in Ontario there, because right across, a lot of Red Wings fans, Louis, I believe, grew up a Red Wings fan, right?
He was Sault Ste. Marie.
I think they were Red Wings fans.
The Leaf went 27, 18, and 3 that year.
What does that add up to?
So that's 50, 21, 48. 48 games.
48 game schedule. Holy man.
Well, when our Minneapolis Lakers were the dynastic champions of the NBA 5 times in 6 years, and also before, it was an 8-team league for most of that period. So things have gotten a little hairier as far as reaching the finals. For instance, when they would win the title, they would have to win a basically one Western Conference final series and then the playoff series.
You know how we've always talked about over the years, we've always said these cups are won by the team that just can keep standing to put on the cruddy uniforms.
More so now than ever.
They've just decided we're going to delay golf and we're not going to the lake yet. Mm-hmm. So here's what I like about tonight's game. There could be no doubt that it's going to be a complete doozy. There could be no doubt because they don't have to worry about that. They don't have to worry about they're going to the lake tomorrow no matter what happens. They don't have to worry about a thing, and that's why this is going to be just hell-bent for leather tonight.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes.
It's just going to be amazing.
But, if, hopefully McDavid comes out and gets 2 quick ones, and then, of course, they try to goon him up after that. Mm-hmm. But, it should be good. I'll even watch quite a bit of it.
I'm going to. I love seventh games, and B, this has been an amazing series, given that they've had to put in an extra day to drag this out just because of the travel.
Yeah, is that what their excuse is?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't they have planes? I don't know.
It's 7 hours and 41 minutes.
Yeah, well,
you can fly to Europe in less time.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot. Edmonton's way farther north.
It's damn near on the Arctic Circle.
You told me that last week. I didn't know where the hell.
Well, it's not an Arctic Circle, but it's.
I've been up there. And
did they have trees?
In the spring, it was not. No snow, anything. It was fine.
Did you just ask if Edmonton had trees?
Well, it's damn near on the tree line.
Oh.
Well, I think it's probably got
It's
trees.
pretty much prairie, though, up there, as I recall.
Yeah.
Calgary, too. Calgary's got the mountains right behind them, but they get the Chinook. We were up there for the Olympics. It was 60 degrees, whatever they call it.
According to the city.
You know what I don't approve? Another thing?
Get your list. Get the list.
I got to get my pen. Go ahead.
Celsius. I don't approve of
I don't
Celsius.
like that either.
I don't like Celsius.
The energy drink or the record temperature?
No, the record temperature.
I don't like kilometers either.
I don't like it. No. Kilometers are a little easier to understand, though, than Celsius.
Joe, according to your favorite website on the city of Edmonton, Trees and Urban Forestry Division, their management is crucial for continuous growth.
Well, I'm exaggerating somewhat. It's not. Okay. There's not an igloo in sight.
I'm trying to tell you that Edmonton has a tree department in the city.
Did you ever cover a final randomly that obviously didn't involve the North Stars? Did you go to an Oiler?
I never covered an Oiler final. I covered finals in Montreal and Boston.
Okay.
The 90-year-old guy in Montreal has to just be looking at himself saying, what in the hell happened here? The Cup's being fought for on June 24th in Miami.
Here's what the idiots, they have got, here's what's pathetic about it. They want these poor guys back in early September. Mm-hmm. NBA at least. It ends late, but they give them till November, the end of September and early. They don't report to camp until early October, and then they don't. These guys show up.
They basically have 2 months.
They show up about September 6th, and on September 8th, they'll have an exhibition game trying to get you to pay money to go to see the Wild. I wonder how Wild ticket sales are. I wonder if they're suffering a little damage here from the boring season that they just concluded. We're still trying to say, wait until we don't have to pay Parisi and Suter anymore, and then look out, we're going to really be
I don't know, how much more is he on the hook for that? How many more years?
I think it's at least one more year, isn't it?
Where all that money's gone. to Reusse because he'll be a free agent here pretty soon. So
I thought we signed him
we
already.
got him for 4, but he's only got 2 left. You better not give him that sniff of free agency.
Here's the deal, though. The trouble with the Reusse, when you look at these clubs, you need 3 of those guys. Well, you need
You've
3.
been complaining that we don't have a guy. Now you want 3.
You got a guy now.
That's what I said about Anthony Edwards. You lost to Dallas because they got 2 of them.
Yeah,
We
need
got
2 or
1.
3 Anthony Edwards, and need 2 or 3 Kasparovs, Kurasov, whatever the hell his name is. You need 2 or 3 good commies like that.
Okay, that's it.
And you need him not to go home in the
You can't go to Siberia to go fishing.
No,
Go to Brainerd and go fishing.
Because the guy might not let him back.
Right.
So don't let him go back.
Or he'll make him go fight.
Go back him. Don't make him. Yeah, right. Lead a group of troops of 14-year-olds like they did in the Hitler days.
I'm trying to not let June 24th dampen my excitement.
Oh, I'm
for this.
jacked for tonight's game.
Because it's ridiculous that it's June
ridiculous.
24th.
And they, when the North Stars were in the finals against Pittsburgh, 91. Ended on Memorial Day, end of March.
And we thought that was outrageous.
May 30th.
Do you know that's one of my top 5 favorite Reusse tweets of all time? Back when we were still doing the afternoon extravaganza, remember they had the World Series was being played at Dodger Stadium, and they were forecasting Game 3 or whatever it was, 105 degrees, and Reusse tweets out, "The World Series is too early.
Yes,
you got to push her back."
What's the phone call this weekend you were going to tell us about?
Oh, my God. All right, here we go. So I'm driving through Waterville.
Let me set up how this occurred. About 6 years ago in Fort Myers, I was somehow accidentally dialed my emergency contact. I don't know why. I was probably driving around trying to call somebody, and it popped up as Jonathan Harrison. And now that's how this occurred. I have no idea.
Joe, do you know who that is?
Yes.
No, do you?
I don't.
Okay.
Former producer. Was he ever a full-timer?
I think he was one of those guys that was here a ton, so he might have been a full-timer.
I had his number
Great
in
guy.
my phone, but somehow I made
Did I ever meet him?
Oh, yeah.
Somehow I made him my emergency contact.
For $1 million.
So it goes from there.
All right.
So I get a frantic phone call from Roscoe about, I don't know, 10 o'clock yesterday morning.
It's pushing. It's about 11.
10 or 11 o'clock, somewhere in there. Yeah. And he says, "Hey, have you heard from Reusse?" And he was his tone was very serious. And I'm thinking, well, S word, I guess this is it. We got to, start making calls. I said, well, I'll try calling him, and I'll try to call Katie too. We'll figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So I call Pat right away. "What's up, dumbass?" And I said, well, and he was down I didn't know this, but he was in Dundas
looking at this flooded ballpark.
And I was leaving Faribault because we had to postpone our game, so I was heading back home. And I said, well, we had the bat signal go out because we didn't know if you needed any emergency response. He's like, "Listen, I was at Quick Trip getting a bleeping donut. I'm fine."
Well, why did Roscoe call?
Well, Roscoe, so Jonathan, being Pat's emergency contact, first tried to call Judd. Judd didn't answer. He tried calling Mackey. Mackey didn't answer.
Oh.
He tried calling me. I didn't answer. And then he finally got a hold of Roscoe.
And here's what
So
you
what
don't
happened
know
is you accidentally called Jonathan Harrison.
Yes, I've hit my emergency contact.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble.
But here's the deal. Now, in addition to just the phone call, you get a location that pops into your phone where I am. And I'm somewhere in the boondocks, so I'm not at home.
Oh, no.
So Jonathan thinks, maybe he's been abducted or something.
We've got a silver alert.
Yes, maybe he's just lost down in the country.
Here's the part I didn't know. It also goes to the local authorities.
Yeah,
so he gets a call from Northfield PD.
I'm putting gas in the car and going to go and get a Diet Coke and a donut at Quick Trip, and this is the Northfield police. Are you okay? Are you in danger? I said. Yeah, I'm not in danger. I said I accidentally.
With life in general?
I accidentally dialed my emergency contact.
Oh, do I have that?
You probably do.
Yes.
My guess is it's the CP.
But here's what I discovered.
But it's not on here.
But as I'm driving on the country gravel road where it is legal to use your cell phone and dial people, because I'm on a gravel road and I'm the only guy there.
No rules.
I see that so I try to get rid of the emergency contact, and then I try to hang up.
Does that mean?
Then I try to turn the phone off, and that only makes the phone madder.
Yes.
They think now that the bad person is turning the phone off.
Does that mean emergency contact?
If it's got a star,
I got the red star.
It's by the CP.
I just
CP?
call home, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, it's a CP.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's probably better. But the fact that Jonathan Harrison, who's now works on our soccer broadcast, and that's
So we're the home of the Loons.
the fact that he's my emergency contact is too good a bit to not have him.
So you got to keep him as your emergency
That's what I
contact.
told him because I was on the phone with Pat yesterday, and he said, I got to change. I go, no.
Let me ask
This
you
is
something.
hilarious that he's your
I'm
emergency
trying to
contact.
get rid of it.
Well, let me ask you something.
What?
Who was your emergency contact before him?
I have no idea. I didn't have one.
And how in the
Somehow
world?
I
How did you
established-
name him as your emergency
I
contact?
was doing something in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
Or someplace and pressing buttons, and somehow I might have been trying to call him about some fact 7 years ago and hit his, and somehow I made him I don't know.
And the relationship blossomed from there.
Yes, it did. I finally, about 20 minutes after the whole brouhaha, I called him up and said, I'm still alive, no thanks to you.
He was probably relieved.
Oh, my God. Well, the poor kid was freaking out.
He lives in New Prague.
He's right near you.
Centrally located.
Yeah.
He's only 45 minutes from my home in case I tip over in the front yard. I'd be good. John,
So if you've got more water in the basement, he's of no help. He can't get there in time.
Help.
I need a pan.
It's pretty good, though. It's it's
Once I realized you were in fact still alive,
Well,
then it was a good
here's the
bit.
coincidence. I'm listening to Jonathan's. I happen to listen to our station. I'm in a car Saturday, and Jonathan's doing the pregame, very excitedly doing the pregame soccer show with Dan Terhar, and Jonathan's reading off his stuff, and he about 4 or 5 times he has to apologize that excuse me, he said something. So I called up Judd and I said, he's made quite a few mistakes this morning. I might have to fire him as my emergency contact.
Can he be trusted?
Can he be trusted to save my life? and then lo and behold, there he is. I don't know how I called it up on Sunday.
Oh, my God.
If anyone gets an emergency call from me, just let it go.
Right.
It's time anyway. If I keel over, who cares? And you just don't make a big deal out of it. Okay?
Are your affairs in order?
My affairs are in order. Yes, they are.
We're good.
Went to the eye doctor today.
Yeah.
Come back in a year. But everything I could see with my right eye, I can only see about half as good with my left eye. And I'm wondering if you're right-handed, if you're right-eyed dominant, but you say
I'm
you're the
right-handed, and my left eye actually works. My right eye is not worth anything, and I'm right-handed.
They get the small little thing, but hey, great guy, didn't even try to sell me a pair of glasses, so it was good.
Well, when's the last time you were at an eye doctor?
I would guess Costco about 10 years ago because I wanted a pair of more distance so I could read the scoreboard when I was at the ballpark. Right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I needed it for. And they screwed it up. I don't want to say anything bad about them, but they gave me the reader quality they gave me was way too low, so I can't use the damn things, which is what you use for 90% of the time.
Well,
But my eyes are fine.
Well, the other thing you could do, but you'd lose it, is just bring a inexpensive pair of binoculars to the ballpark.
Yeah, I could do that, but I would indeed
You'd
lose them.
Yeah.
I would indeed lose them.
The Twins made their last visit to a hell of a ballpark.
How about Oakland? We've had a lot of memories there, some bad ones. That's where Tony permanently screwed up his knee.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Falling on that
Sprinkler head?
Sprinkler head, hitting the sprinkler head with his already ravaged right knee. But that one, if they hadn't come up with the DH, he was finished.
Yep.
He limped to the batting title, and he was hitting three. This is when we're still the hitting in baseball is still so bad that the NBA, that the American League 2 years later adopted the DH to try to get some hitting in the game. And Tony was batting 378 or something. He was leading the league by about 60 points. And when it was June 20, right? June 20th, something like that. And he sat out 5-6 games, and then he limped to the batting title. But the next year, he only played 10 games. 1972, he only played 10 games because of the knee.
Wow.
And if they hadn't, he couldn't play in the field. And if they hadn't passed the DH so he could go and limp to first base, he was, you look up his 1973 season, though. It's, or 73. It's amazing. I think he knocked in 91 runs, and you were watching him play on one leg.
I was listening to the ball game yesterday, and it was amazing. That run from 87 to 92, because they should have beat the Blue Jays before the Blue Jays went on to win the World Series. The A's, I'm talking about. That they were the two best teams in the American League.
Well, they went to 5 straight World Series.
Yeah.
The Twins 87 and 91, and Oakland 88, 89, and 90.
Yep.
The only one they won was the Earthquake Series, though, because 88, Gibson, and then 90, the Nasty Boys from Cincinnati, they swept them.
The Reds were good.
Marge swept them.
Was Rio, right? The pitcher? Jose Rio. He was really good
He
for the
was
Reds.
a really good pitcher, but the bullpen was Dibble, Randy Myers.
What year did the Reds sweep them?
90.
90.
And Marge was angry.
Yes.
She wouldn't throw a post-triumphant
Why was she
party
mad?
because she wanted the revenue from a fifth and sixth game.
Yeah.
You're kidding. I didn't know that
She
story.
was nuts.
Yeah.
I told you the story about, Marge was always hammered during the game because she liked her. She was, a rich guy married her.
Yeah.
What, was he blind?
I don't know.
I don't know, but.
She was hard to look at.
Oh, God, catcher's mitt.
Yeah.
And
Just really bad.
I used catcher's mitt.
Oh, it's terrible.
But remember the
That had been left out in the rain.
Yeah, the Cincinnati press box. The Cincinnati press box had an elevator that held about 8 people. That was it.
But only her and her dog would ride it.
And she was on the floor below.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to beat the rush to get downstairs after one of the games, and it opened up, and there was Marge right in front, drooling liquor, and told me to get up.
Yep.
Away from and took off back downstairs. And,
Did the rich guy that married her, did he own the club?
I don't think
How
so.
the hell
I
did
think
she own that
she
club?
was part of a group that bought it, and she ended up putting the most money in, and they let her run it. And it was the worst, though, is she had a St. Bernard. She always had the St. Bernard. And they put Barbara Bush comes up, and the dog's trying to have its way with Barbara in the pregame show. You're going, get this woman out of there with her dog. Shotzi. The dog was Shotzi. Shotzi. Oh, God. That's amazing, though. I mean, baseball of that era, Finley won 3 straight World Series. Mm-hmm. And he was a loose cannon of all time. And then she wins a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
It was you didn't need a genius owner to.
Charles Schott was the.
When did Charlie?
We
kick it off?
lost him in 1968.
Did he do himself in, or did he?
I don't know.
Did he?
He was tired of it.
He died of fright. What did he do?
I forgot about the. She had a little trouble with the racism.
Yeah, she was a little. I think she would have known who she supported in this current environment. So, anyway,
Is there any news of the Twins getting on TV?
Nope.
not a damn thing.
That's pathetic.
Now they go out there Saturday. nice little 2 hour and 30-minute game. Over goes 9. Mm-hmm. Minnesota can't see that.
Nope.
Yesterday, Pablo gets his act back together against that team.
Yep.
He's got 14 strikeouts, ties his season high 8 innings. That one went 215, I believe.
It was brisk.
Didn't see that.
215,
Nope.
didn't see that. It's, I don't know. They have no idea how.
When are you going to set me up?
Irritated.
When are you going to do that?
Oh, yeah.
They have no idea how angry people are at how just people are
it's
just
Pat.
disgusted with them.
I think it's past that. It's now apathy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
About,
It's
they
too
weren't-
easy to not pay attention to them.
They were not playing well the first half of last season. They've already had the Dodgers and the Yankees here, and they're well behind last year's attendance already.
And they already had their largest gate of the year on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Outside of opening day, I should say.
Now, another thing they don't have this year that was wonderful about last year, drought.
Yes.
Last year, I believe they had one 30-minute rain delay.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And once because of the fork, they postponed the open. They took that extra day for the opener on Thursday and put it on Friday because it was cold. But rainouts, none.
Yeah.
It was, all over the country. It was fantastic.
Well, and I've mentioned this, but the thing is, I don't think they realize, like you were saying, kids aren't even. No one's talking about, did you see Buxton's cat? No one talks about them. No. And I'm around 2 different youth teams.
It's too easy to not pay attention to them when you can't see them.
Yep.
The only good thing about the real good thing about this weekend, though, was if you're one of the dorks that was sitting in the yellow jersey the last time, buying the yellow jersey to be on Pablo Day, and then watching him go 4 1/3 and give up 3 home runs, you don't feel as bad today now that you can wear your yellow jersey down to the grocery store and not have people laugh at you now. So
Pablo Day.
Are you following the Taylor Swift exploits in London?
No, what is she?
Jason and the boys are out there. What's his name?
Travis.
Who's the boyfriend?
Travis. They went.
Travis and Jason are there, and
they're making their way in the tabloids.
Oh, it's just all over the mail.
Well, you get a daily update, don't you?
I get
at home?
updates whether I want them or not.
Yeah.
And
nice feature.
But how long is this stay in London for her?
I don't know, a couple nights she did.
She filling up Wembley or something? What'd she do? Where'd she have it?
I believe it was Wembley.
Probably, yeah.
And so Paul McCartney's in there. He's dancing with the Kelsey boys.
Okay.
I don't know how football can be taken seriously again.
No. But I was wondering if they were split ski a little because he was off running around and she's been going through Europe now for a while. What do you think a good night gets her? 5-6 million?
Oh, I bet it's more than that.
With the gate when you get 100,000 people.
I'll look that up.
Those prices.
That's a good question. Let me look
She's
that
a
up.
billionaire.
Yeah, she should be. What the hell?
Yeah.
She got you hooked.
No, I didn't get hooked. I mean, I got hooked. I didn't get hooked.
You had to watch the Chiefs game just to give updates as to whether she might be showing for
Will that happen again this year?
20 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
I bet it will.
If she goes to games, maybe she's bored with him.
According to Billboard.com, Taylor Swift, on average, earns between $11 and $13 million for each date of the Eras tour.
Wow.
Well, she's
That's
got a
per
big
episode.
She's got a big payroll.
She got to pay to help, and she pays them very well.
She's got a big payroll.
There was a great story of a guy that was driving semi for her tour.
Yeah.
And basically, he said it's life-changing. She takes care of all of us. It's like $100,000 per trip or something like that for each semi.
I saw something on that, how the crew, she just...
And he said, he goes, she treats everybody wonderfully. She's really good.
Except ex-boyfriends with
That's
her
true.
music. Yeah. Because let's face it, if she wants to keep rolling, she got to break up with this guy. She can get 4 songs out of it.
At least.
Yeah, football, and she can get 4 or 5 songs.
He was a big lunk.
The big dumb lunk would be one of the things, but it's Yeah, she's...
Now, was this blasphemy?
She writes every one of her own songs, though, right? I mean, they're kind of ditties. They're not exactly...
Is this blasphemy? A couple of girls that I'm close to were getting into the wine pretty good yesterday. Okay. And by the time they got rolling, they were insisting that Taylor Swift is the equivalent of Paul McCartney. I think McCartney's a better songwriter.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
In terms of popularity?
Well, I don't dispute the popularity.
But numbers of people and the access to the public is so enormous now.
Right.
But she's not bigger than the Beatles were.
That's what I tried to insist, and I was shot down.
The Beatles changed American music.
They changed the world.
Yes, we didn't know what the hell they were doing over in Britain until those guys showed up.
You know what I think?
Now their original songs were not exactly works of art.
But they grew into writing incredible songs.
Yes, they did.
You know what I think you should do to further advance this theory and this discussion? You should take them to a couple more shows to see.
No. Nope.
Is she coming? Is she swinging back around?
Does she come back to America for this tour?
I'm not sure.
Why don't you look
It's
it up?
2 years total, I think, isn't it?
I don't know, but
she could take some time off, though. She took some time off in the fall, right? And then,
for football season, yes.
Yeah, that's right. So
the Eras tour. Bear with me.
I can't see her living in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. You know where she should live?
Where?
Duralton, Scotland. Remember Duralton? The little village in Scotland
where the boys were to go get...
Because she'd have a life of peace.
Keith was there? Is that where Keith was? Or was
he? You and I were there.
Oh, that
was... For the Open.
Yes, okay. Duralton. Was that the name of it?
Yeah, Duralton, Scotland, right up the road from the course.
Next to that beautiful... My favorite course, Dunbar, was my favorite
Yeah, we stayed in the town of Duralton in that tiny hotel.
I didn't realize which town we stayed in.
That's where I'd go if I had her money.
She's heading to Dublin this Friday, right?
Okay.
This Friday's the 28th. Then she's going to Amsterdam. Then she's going to Milan. Then she's going to Hamburg, Warsaw, Vienna, Toronto, and Vancouver. And that'll wrap up on December 8th.
Oh, she's not coming back to the U.S.
Not back to the U.S. according to her website.
Is it over then?
I would think
She's got some documentary out there that people are watching in big numbers, too. On
What's
Netflix.
The concert?
Yeah, it's but some back.
Whatever.
Back.
What is Sky Domes or whatever we call it, Rogers Center? What does that seat? Is it 50?
Yeah, 50.
She's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's doing 6 shows there.
Plus, they
in
got
Toronto.
I bet they're getting a lot of money for the hotel rooms for that.
Heavens, yes.
Yes, they could.
Didn't Molitor live in one of those when he was playing there?
I don't think he lived in one. Maybe.
I thought he did.
I don't know. There used to be some hijinks in windows up there, but I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't know if they.
I gotta say, I saw their City Connect jerseys over the weekend. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool jersey for the Jays.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are they better than these bicycle racing shirts the Twins have?
Yes, they are much better.
Softball.
Well, anyway, getting back to the Taylor, I wonder if these football screwballs will follow her all through Europe. Don't they have to go to training camp?
Well, that doesn't start till the end of July.
Yeah, one of them quit. Jason's
retired.
Going to be on TV. Travis has got to. Mahomes won't let Travis quit yet. He's going to try to win one more.
And one of their rings has a typo.
What?
One of their rings has a typo.
Really?
Oh, the one that they just came out with?
Yeah, it has the wrong score on it for one of their victories.
Oh my God!
But they're not complaining. They're going to keep that.
Do you know the Chiefs have had a rough off season? though. They got
yes, they have.
His favorite receiver has killed somebody driving, right?
Drag racing. Yep.
Yeah, drag racing. So that's going to be if he's not in jail, he's going to be suspended.
Whatever became of Reed's kid that was in trouble?
He did a little time.
Are they both dead or just one of them? One of them's dead. One of them OD'd and the others, I think one of them OD'd, right?
One of them did, but Joe's referring to the kid that ran over the girl.
Yeah.
I got to ask you something else.
He did some time. He might still be doing
I got to ask you something else, pop culture-wise.
Okay.
What is there anything stranger than Belichick going out with the 12-year-old or the 20-year-old or whatever old?
Oh, I did see that. That's a little.
What is that? That's the least likely candidate for that I could have come up with.
He's an athlete.
That's undefeated is what that is.
He's an athlete None of them were trusted. How long have he and Mrs. Belichick been? Splitsky, do we know?
This girl is 22 or
24.
something.
She's 24. Yeah.
What is the deal?
She's younger than his youngest child.
Well, that's very odd because he doesn't strike me as very exciting.
No, but
houses catch fire all the time.
A lot
That's
of
why
money.
I got insurance.
Got a lot of money, and
now he's got time on his hands.
yes, yeah. Nobody hired him, and yeah, it is.
I wonder why nobody hired him.
Yeah. You and I would never be tempted to do that. If we,
I'd rather
if we
read.
lost our loved
We'd
ones.
be invisible. She'd look right through you.
If my loved one ever dumped me, which is always a possibility, and what the heck,
Oh, I was supposed
waddling down the street, I probably wouldn't get.
I was supposed to ask you a question. I don't know how to ask this properly. You were on a different show last week. Hold on, I got to ask this though. How did that audience react to the shooting pheasants out of the back seat of the old man's car?
And cats too. But,
I'd get you a cat.
I said I could also tell you about the cats if you want me to. But I took a shot at the 9 to 12 show, and I got away with it. So
Yes,
that
you
was
did.
Good.
Yeah,
that
you
was
did.
Good. I don't have any idea. I've washed my hands of it. We'll do that again in a year or so, maybe one day. But anyway, now what? I had something I really wanted to. Damn it, I can't remember. Oh, Red Loftus has died at 78. Red was my running mate as for the the Prior Lake Lakers 1962-63 basketball team. We were the starting guards.
You and Red?
Only one of us. We both weighed about 175, 180 then. Red stayed a lot closer to that than I did. Let's put it that way. But a good guy, school teacher for 35, 40 years in the Burnsville system, taught English and I saw him once in a while, but we hadn't really stayed in touch. But I don't know what occurred that he's no longer with us. But he's in the Prior Lake Laker Hall of Fame for athletics.
Are you?
Not unless somebody made a big mistake. But Red was a 3-year starter as a quarterback. 3-year starter as a guard, very good player, very good athlete, and
I bet that's an impressive Hall of Fame. They've had some good players come out of it.
Yeah, they have. They actually one guy called me up and said, should we put you in that Hall of Fame? I said, well, let's see. I didn't play football. I got hurt. I was a mediocre guard on a lousy team, and then. As a baseball player, I served a 2-week suspension for drinking beer, so I don't think so.
Probably not.
The answer is, for my athletic exploits, I would say the answer is no.
What if we did this instead? What if we put in the baseball where you came back into the game and said, he's back?
And folded.
Oh, I thought that was a Prior Lake story.
Of which, that ballpark's got to be underwater. Wyndham.
Oh, for sure.
Right on the Cottonwood.
Right.
It was the Des Moines River. Right on the Des Moines River. That was at Wyndham. Where
darn it. I thought that was a Prior Lake
Well, is there
story.
any ball being played down south?
I don't know.
Very few games are being played.
What we're discovering then, Joe, is when they were building ballparks back in the day, they said, let's pick a nice spot down by the river. Scenic spot down by the river. Sleepy Eye, they got to be under the water.
They have to be
4 feet.
Yep.
And a lot of them are down by the river, which is now the river's
at home plate.
Yes. Dundas, it was 2 feet.
What about
the water
Jordan?
Was 2 feet deep.
No, we're
Jordan's
good.
They're up on the hill.
In fact, we were there last night.
Yeah, but a lot of them, man. It's brutal. And
So you see who won the golf tournament yesterday?
Scotty Scheffler.
Well, can he lose?
I'm thinking no. Tiger was the last guy to win 6, but I think Scotty, I love him. It's great, but he's being helped by having these guys in live country, isn't he? I mean, he doesn't have as many guys to beat,
But he's still winning majors, though.
Oh yeah, he's great, but you got the trouble with the whole live thing is Bryson DeChambeau still's got the fire. The rest of them don't give a damn.
Right.
Dustin Johnson never did like golf. Now he just doesn't do anything.
Well, Rahm is becoming a non-factor.
Yeah, he left too. He's out of shape, and he always was a little chunky.
I didn't know Tyrell Hatton was a live guy.
No, I didn't.
So
either.
I think he's got the fire. He's a character.
Yeah,
he would have been good in the PGA.
He wants to win, but he's also like the 34th best player in the world or something like that. So, it's a definite advantage for Scotty playing these guys who are, there's about five. There's some of them out there not grinding, trying to beat him that would have made it a little tougher. Because how about that golf course though? God, it's so easy, it's unbelievable.
But I decided I could live in Connecticut.
Did you?
Look at the coastline sometime.
Oh yeah,
close up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got twists and turns and islands and peninsulas and bays and is it neat? Mm-hmm. Just neat. What is the big body of water next to that course? What river is that, I wonder?
I don't know. I
think it leads to the ocean.
They haven't made great use of it as far as designing the course. They made it too easy. But anyway.
That course dates to 1925.
Yeah. That's why they don't move it, I guess. And it was a designated event.
Yeah.
Too easy to be a designated event.
Does that mean no cuts?
No cuts, and also you're supposed to be mandatory, but they gave Rory a waiver that he didn't have to play after his.
He's still licking his wounds.
Oh yes, he is. Back with the wife though, right?
Yes, I thought I saw that, or you were the one that told me.
He's back with the wife.
Yeah,
it must have looked at what it would cost him.
On second thought,
but. Was he thinking? Is that what he was thinking about when he missed the 2-footer? What a hell of a putt that was! God Almighty. We haven't seen the girl that he supposed. The gal that they're not on. She's not on TV anymore, right? Because it's not.
Oh, she was back this weekend.
Oh, was she doing it? Okay. And even though they didn't ask her.
I don't think anyone's going to ask her.
On the broadcast. Is that true about you and Rory? It'd improve ratings if you.
It would.
Is that true about you and Rory, honey? Unbelievable.
When you listen to somebody like Anthony Edwards during the playoffs,
yes,
he was delightful quotes.
Yes,
they were off the cuff and candid and
genuine.
And those golfers are the worst. They're just the worst.
And the fawning that we do.
Oh my God!
Fawning on the telecast.
We need an Anthony Edwards in golf.
Yeah.
Well, that would be Tyrell Hatton.
Yeah, it would. It would. But Liv had I saw 1 minute of it. They had a big crowd in Nashville.
Yes, they did.
People watching.
But that's DeChambeau's. That's
the
DeChambeau
effect. But I don't know if anybody's watching on the CW.
I didn't see
the test
any of
for
it.
them will be if they get an actual network.
Yeah.
Or for Golf Channel. It's funny. I wonder if the Saudis got enough money to buy the Golf Channel. If they want to. So.
Why don't they pitch in and get me to watch the Twins? Let's have the Saudi buy Bally Sports.
Yeah.
In other words, now on Channel 201, which at my house is Bally, you turn to it, there's nothing on it.
Not
There's
even
nothing.
we apologize for the.
There, you get that sign. You get that message.
Wow.
Yeah.
But there's no events, nothing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So I have a question about that.
It didn't exactly sneak up on them.
Well, and here's what I'm wondering, because they base everything on the previous year's results, whether it's wins, losses, and revenue. This means that they're going to have a smaller payroll next year then, right? Because that TV money's gone.
Well, supposedly there's going to be some kind of. They can have a smaller payroll next year. They're going to have to. They're going to.
But aren't they losing money by not being on?
Sure. They
Okay.
are, but tough bananas. You got to. When you sell it, you're going to get a little bit of a profit if you want to.
Okay.
Although I don't know. This isn't a good year for having the unroofed stadium too. Considering, but anyway, they're it's ridiculous, and their PR is horrible, and the team's the team might be slightly better than last season, even with the shortage of starting pitching.
Oh, the lineup's better.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
Don't
and
you?
They got Brooks Lee who's going to be here in a week or so, and he's really good. So.
And they really stay out there, don't they? 3 in Arizona and then back up to Seattle.
Who came up with that trip? You're
That's a
already
weird
halfway
trip.
to Seattle. Why don't they go?
Yeah.
Why don't they go?
Yeah.
Instead of So anyway,
All right.
we gave him a lot today.
That's enough.
Oh, but I do need to hear.
Oh, the pause.
Well, I
We
just
have a
need to hear
pause?
from the Valley Group. We don't need a pause. We just need the ad for today's show.
All right.
Jim Paul.
Jim Paul and Brett Paul of the Valley Group of GM dealers. They haven't had a rain out. They aren't underwater out there at Apple Valley and Hastings. Apple Valley is kind of nice up on the rise there. I'm sure Hastings is a fine location too. Make your way out there. The interest rates are low, and the factory rebates are back from Buick and GMC products. All the products are available. The big old honking Yukons, all varieties of SUVs, Buick SUVs, the station wagon that Joe's told me about. Good prices, good stock, good time to make a deal. Jim Paul, Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers, my guys in Apple Valley and the other side of town in Hastings. Check them out.